Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host Ava, and today we're diving into a story that's as heartbreaking as it is infuriating. It's the story of 18-year-old Kelvi McCray, a young woman with a bright future whose life was tragically cut short. This is a story about love, violence, and a system that seemingly failed her. Please like and subscribe to our channel as we bring you real-life stories every week. This case happened in West Palm Beach, Florida, a place known for its beautiful beaches and vibrant culture. But on March 6, 2024, this city became the scene of a horrific tragedy. An 18-year-old named Kelvi McCray was found dead in her home, the victim of a senseless act of violence. Kelvi was a vibrant young woman, full of life and potential. She was named after her father, Kelvin, and was a daddy's girl who enjoyed spending time with him. She excelled in sports, playing basketball and running track. But she wasn't just an athlete, she was a fashionista, known for her stylish outfits and perfectly pressed hair. After graduating high school, she pursued multiple passions, including modeling, singing, and social media. She even started her own hairstyling business, taking joy in enhancing the beauty of the women around her, and had just received her cosmetology security license. She was entrepreneurial at heart, working hard to make money and improve her life. In her personal life, Kelvi was in a relationship with 19-year-old Keyshawn Shaw, whom she had been dating since high school. They shared many memorable moments and even attended prom together. But their relationship was far from perfect. Friends and family described it as stormy, marked by frequent arguments and reconciliations. Despite the ups and downs, Kelvi had a compassionate heart and allowed Keyshawn to live with her and her family when he claimed he had nowhere else to go. In January, Kelvi decided to end the relationship. She was firm in her decision to move on. Keyshawn, however, refused to accept it and tried to emotionally blackmail her to get back together. But things escalated. On March 5th, just one day before the fatal shooting, Kelvi called 911 to report that Keyshawn had strangled her, pointed a gun at her head, and held her against her will. She also reported that he had damaged her car trying to prevent her escape. Keyshawn was charged with false imprisonment, aggravated assault, and battery. Law enforcement was actively searching for him, leading to an intense car chase. However, they had to stop due to safety concerns, and Keyshawn managed to evade capture. This failure to detain him would have great consequences the following day. On the evening of March 6th, Kelvi was at home, enjoying a FaceTime call with friends. Unbeknownst to her, Keyshawn was about to enter the home. In a horrifying turn of events, he entered the room and began shooting at Kelvi wildly. Her friends were helpless witnesses on the other side of the screen, forced to watch as her ex-boyfriend then turned the gun on himself. Kelvi's mother, who was home at the time, immediately called the police. When they arrived, they found Kelvi with multiple gunshot wounds and rushed her to St. Mary's Medical Center, but it was too late. She tragically passed away later that evening. The community was left shattered by this senseless act of violence. A vigil was held in her honor, with family and friends gathering to remember her life. Her mother stated she hears the shots and sees her daughter on the floor every day. Kelvi's uncle stated, "The tragedy isn't that she died. The tragedy is in how she died and how old she was when she died." This case raises serious questions. Why wasn't Kelvi offered protection after reporting the assault? Could this tragedy have been prevented? What more can be done to protect young women from domestic violence? Let me know what you think in the comments below. This isn't just a story about loss, it's a call to action. We need to do better. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out for help. There are resources available. Don't stay silent. Stay tuned for commentary by DJ.
Hey everyone, DJ here, and I want to talk a little bit about this case. Kelvi was a young woman on her way to doing great things. Unfortunately, there were mistakes made by Kelvi and her parents. Keyshawn was not a good person. That guy was a thug, and they knew he was a thug. Kelvi should have never been in a relationship with him. I think it's a bad idea that teenagers date. They don't even know themselves, they don't understand nothing, and dating only brings complications for them when they don't even understand the world as yet. But we as parents, we cannot stop teenagers from dating, especially when they get to the age of at least 16. We definitely can't stop them. But the glaring errors that Kelvie made was to ask her parents to have her boyfriend come and live with them. That's a big no-no. Because when your boyfriend is living with you and you guys break up, then what? Then it becomes a major problem. The only people that should be living with you is if you're an adult and you want to live with someone, that's your prerogative. And if you get married, obviously you're going to be living with the person. That's it. As a teenager, you should not be living with someone you're romantically linked with. When Kelvie went to her parents and asked them for her boyfriend to stay in the house with her, her parents should have said, hell no. Let me tell you something. If you're a parent and you're listening to this podcast, never have your teenage child live with their boyfriend or girlfriend. You're just asking for trouble. First of all, most of those teenage relationships don't last. Everyone knows that. 99.9% of them do not last. So you having kids living together is just a recipe for disaster. Now, I believe that Keyshawn manipulated Kelvie so that she would allow him to come live with her. He wanted to control her, and he was a young man, and he's already thinking about controlling a woman. Now, the day before the murder, he assaults her, chokes her, put a gun to her head, and thankfully, she got away. After someone pulls a gun on you and chokes you, that person was basically trying to kill you. You need to go into hiding. You can't just go back home, especially when the guy is actually living with you and the guy has access to where you are. Because the next day, he got into the house and he killed her. This guy was rotten to the core. That's why getting into a teenage relationship is like playing Russian roulette. These guys don't know themselves yet. These girls, they don't know themselves either. And they get into sexual relationships, and it's a hotbed for an explosion. I wish people would slow down. Take your time. Enjoy your childhood. Enjoy your teenage years. Have platonic relationships, because boys is not going anywhere and girls is not going anywhere. No matter what age you get to, they're going to always have ample amount of partners. Ample. But we as human beings, we're always rushing into this and rushing into that. Kelvie was 18. She didn't need to be an adult yet. She should have still be enjoying hanging out with her girlfriends and doing hair and nails and just hanging out and chilling. Being in a serious relationship, having a man live with you, that's just too much. And I'm telling you right now, her parents regret having that boy come and live with them. But it's too late. I hope this is an example for other parents to see that having a boy move into your house who's romantically linked to your daughter is a terrible idea. If it was my child, that will never happen. Now, I can't stop my daughter from dating at 15 or 16, but I guarantee you, I'm not gonna give her an opportunity to get pregnant, to be abused. Hell no. It doesn't matter what story she comes and tell me about this boy, about how he's homeless or whatever. I don't want to hear it. He is not moving in. I see some parents do this, and I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. Why would you let a stranger move into your house who's romantically linked to your daughter? You're giving them more access so that your daughter can get pregnant because they're right in the same room. They're having sex anytime they want to. If they want to have their little relationship, they can have it outside of your house. Now, Kelvie's life was ended at the tender age of 18. Just imagine, 18 years old. And this girl had a bright future. And let me tell you something. As a parent, there's a reason why you're the parent. At 18, Kelvie was making money and she was doing her thing, yes. But you're still a child. You're the parent and you need to set boundaries. You tell your child, hell no, your boyfriend cannot come and live in this house. That is not happening. You put your foot down, because those teenagers, they don't know nothing about nothing. They think they know about the world. They think they're grown. They think because they're having sex, they know about life. And you, as the parents, you need to be in control and tell your child, no, that's not going to happen. Let that boy find somewhere else to go. Because I guarantee you, Keyshawn had family that he can go by. But he manipulated Kelvie into allowing him to come and stay. And her parents stupidly allowed the whole thing to happen. Now she's dead, and they're crying and balloons and all this other stuff. It's too late for that nonsense. Now people are blaming the police for not catching Keyshawn when he assaulted Kelvie the day before the murder. But the police did just about everything they could to find him. They were chasing after him, and he was driving erratically, and they had to stop chasing him because it became dangerous for other people on the street. The mistakes happened long before the police was even involved. And people are also saying the police should have protected her, they should have moved her. This is not police procedure. Police do not do that. You have to protect yourself. Because all those people who knew she was assaulted the day before, where were they? Please tell me which one of them came and tell Kelvie, hey Kelvie, come stay by me because this guy might come back. I guarantee you, nobody said that. They wait till after she was dead to now say, oh, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I'm telling you that if someone ever raised their voice in a violent way towards you, you should run. You should hide. Just imagine this. Keyshawn choked Kelvie and put a gun to her head, and nobody thought this guy was capable of murder. Isn't that unbelievable? If I was there, that's the first thing I would have said. I would have told her, don't you have anywhere else to go? Can you go stay with your uncle or somebody else? Somewhere where he doesn't know where you're going to be? That's what I would have said. But nobody said that. And they knew he got away from the cops. This is a very sad story, but it was avoidable. I hope we all can learn a lesson from this. I already knew it's a bad idea to have two teenagers living together. I already knew that. For the people who didn't know, look at this case. And please, this is not just one case. There's a lot of cases like this. It's a terrible idea to have two teenagers living together. If you know someone who's going through the same situation, whether it's domestic violence or teenagers trying to live together, tell them it's a terrible idea, and you can point them to this case of why it's a bad idea. That's it for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.